House Republicans push late-night vote inside Trump's $9 billion DOGE cuts package. In a high-stakes game of political chess, House Republicans are charging toward a marathon late-night session to fast-track President Trump's $9 billion funding cut package, despite simmering tensions over a separate demand for transparency in the Jeffrey Epstein saga. This isn't just another legislative skirmish. It's a showdown between party loyalty and the growing appetite for accountability among GOP lawmakers. But here's where it gets tricky. The same party that's rallying behind Trump's budget slashes is now fracturing over a seemingly unrelated issue, revealing cracks in the House's unified front. The so-called DOGE cuts, formally titled a recissions package, aim to erase $9 billion in existing federal funds. Roughly $8 billion would come from congressionally approved foreign aid programs, specifically targeting the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, while $1.1 billion would be stripped from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the lifeline for NPR and PBS. These cuts align with Trump's Department of Government Efficiency's mission to shrink federal spending, but they've sparked heated debates over who gets to decide how taxpayer money is used. Critics argue this sets a dangerous precedent, giving the executive branch unchecked power to overturn congressional decisions. Supporters, however, frame it as a necessary step to curb wasteful spending. And this is the part most people miss. The Epstein-related transparency push has become a political landmine. For days, House GOP leaders have been locked in backroom negotiations with holdout members, many of whom demand a formal vote on releasing classified materials tied to the disgraced financier. While Republicans ultimately passed a non-binding resolution calling for the release of these documents, Democrats fought to turn it into enforceable law, only to be shut down by their counterparts. The result? A symbolic gesture that leaves the public hanging with no clear timeline or guarantees. The clock is ticking. Republicans are racing to finalize the DOGE cuts bill before a self-imposed Friday deadline, using special budget rules that let them bypass Democratic opposition. But Senate Republicans, who approved the same cuts earlier in the week, aren't all on board. While most backed the move, two prominent voices, Senator Susan Collins of Maine and Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, raised alarms about undermining Congress's authority to control spending. Their dissent highlights a deeper question: when does fiscal discipline cross the line into overreach? So here's the burning issue. Is this about fiscal responsibility, or is it a power play to centralize control over federal funds? The answer might determine whether this becomes a one-time exception or a blueprint for future budget battles. What do you think? Is the GOP protecting taxpayer dollars, or is it overstepping its bounds? Share your take in the comments below.